You know what? Nicky went in and talked to him a little bit. I asked him to. I just said, you know what? They might be getting tired of this record, so let's spin a different one. And you know what? At the end of the day, it comes down to kind of flushing the second period and resetting. And so you've got to give credit to the guys for doing that. I thought they just, again, maybe we didn't have some good things happen in the second period, but I really liked our third.
I'm assuming part of that record and getting that off your back is it's been rough in the games where y'all haven't scored first. Was there something to just having some fight back, especially after last weekend? Minnesota State scores first in both games, and you can't quite get that extra goal to get past the tie.
Yeah, I mean, this weekend was a big weekend for us. You start off, and part of it is trying to learn how to win, and that's not easy. And what I think we saw this weekend is we found ways. Now, last weekend, we fought from behind, and as you said, couldn't quite get over the hill. And this weekend, I thought we did. And that is what we're looking for, and we'll be challenged. I think we've been beat up a little bit on both sides of the game where we've had opportunities for play with a lead. But you've seen in our last couple here, we've been from behind, other than last night, and we've stuck with it and found a way. And I think that's an important teaching moment, and having some confidence to go out and play the first 5 minutes like we did in the third period.
When Montgomery gets some open ice, no one's catching him. As it was obvious twice tonight in the third, he scores one. He doesn't quite get the finish off on the other one. But what kind of weapon is that to have that in a position where he was able to make something happen there?
Ottawa's in the house last night, and Gordon, their development guy, had a little chat with him, and he is such an elite skater. And one thing he asked of him is just said, demand the puck. And boy, I thought he did that tonight through the neutral zone a couple of times, and he can catch guys flat-footed, and he's by them before they can turn. And I hope that pours into his confidence, because I think you can see what he can do when he is skating. And I want him to feel really good about that goal and the opportunities that he had tonight, because we're going to need him.
I know I asked you about this I asked you about Daniel on Tuesday, but he, that second, stood up a couple times, couple big, moving from the left to the right across the crease. What does that give the forwards, the defenders in front of him, the confidence to be able to go out and play their game when they know they're backstopped by a guy like him?
I've been on both sides of that coin as a coach, that when you have that, it's a security blanket. It allows your forwards and your defensemen to play free. Now, that doesn't mean irresponsible. That just means, and there's a reason a goaltender puts on a jersey. He's part of your team. And so he's doing his job at stopping the ones that he should, and he's stopped a few that he shouldn't. And, there's a lot of confidence that he has right now. Even tonight, I thought he made some very timely, big-time saves that allowed us to be in the spot that we were going into the third period to then come out and get a lead.
How do you feel about where you are after this 6-game stretch, this non-conference, heading into the conference starting next week? Where I guess overall, big picture, what do you think?
Well, I think anytime you can take care of your business over the first 6 games, and you're not perfect, but we haven't had one hung in that column yet. Like I told you, you've got to learn how to be successful. And after last weekend, moving into this weekend, with some of the teams that Alaska's beaten, we had to go earn it. And so now you learn from that, but I look at it, we've got different guys scoring, which if that happens, we're a much tougher out. But now we're going to get into Big Ten play. And just like we have up until this point, you're going to have to earn it. And with Minnesota coming to town, we'll definitely have to earn it.
What kind of the patience that Logan showed before he pulled the trigger on that shot to get into a little bit better position, what did that tell you about where his his thinking is at right now, because a lot of guys might just hope for it to bounce something, but he got himself there.
Well, no, the one thing I'm really excited about for Logan is that was his best game this season. And, you know, if you look from the perspective that we had it from the bench, Logan had his head up the entire time. We had great traffic. I think it was Fitzgerald that gives the flyby, that it's tough for a goaltender to get around that. And you know what? I think Hens knew exactly where that one was going, but not just commending him on the goal. I thought from start to finish, defensively, really his all-around game grew tonight, and we need that to continue because I think he can be a difference maker for us.
Coach, with Minnesota on deck next weekend, how important was it for Daniel Hauser to have a game like he had tonight, kind of moving into what'll be the biggest kind of series of the year to this point?
Yeah, you know what? I think Daniel's a guy that just goes out and what's in front of him, he tackles. And so you'll probably talk to a couple other guys here very soon. You can ask them about Daniel, but Daniel's just a daily go-to-work type of guy. And he's a guy I think that the entire team loves to play in front of. And they want to try and make his job as easy as it can be. And sometimes we do that, sometimes we don't, but he's definitely, I think, showed himself incredibly well. Especially, you look at last night, and then you get to tonight, and the first one goes off a shin pad, and it goes in the back of the net. You know, somebody that might not have the mental fortitude that young man has might have been rattled by that, and it's the last one that got by him. So I think that says a lot about Daniel Hauser.